Good morning, Tennessee Valley. This beautiful Friday morning, right in the day right before the weekend.
That's right.
It's always good because by Monday we'll be asking where's Friday at.
That's right.
I always look for Friday. I ask Monday. I said where's my Friday at. But this morning we have a great show for you. We have some great guests as always. We always have great guests.
Always.
Yeah, all our guests are great. Anyone that wants to show up this early in the morning to be on the show are a great guest.
Absolutely.
And today we have a great lineup. You want to go ahead and just tell who they are?
Sure. We have Corinne Freeman. She is the director at BICC Starfish, and she's going to come on and talking about an event that they've got coming up that everyone's going to want to get involved in.
Okay.
They're looking for some talent in Cleveland.
Talent in Cleveland. That's
right.
Two words to go together, I guess.
That's right.
There's a lot of talented people.
Right. And then we have Hollis Pegues, and he is with Platinum Recruiting, and he's a business in the business incubator here at Cleveland State.
We're also located there, so
That's
we
right.
get to meet a lot of new people there.
That's right.
We get to meet them at the business meetings. We get to meet them as Hurley will bring them around and introduce them, so we get to meet people for the first time there.
Right.
So we're always excited when I guess our neighbors. There are neighbors there in the incubator, and we're always excited to have new neighbors.
New neighbors, right.
That always means that somebody's graduated.
Right.
That means because there's a graduation process after 4 years, and when someone graduates, then they have the open space. So, and who is our third?
Our third is
Hurley
Buff.
And Hurley is going to be here with us. He's kind of our backup.
That's right.
He's our recruiting guy.
That's right.
We call Hurley and say, Hurley, we need a guest. And he's like, hey, I'll be there, and I'll bring somebody with me. And he does. He always brings somebody with us. So thank you a lot, Hurley, for that. And we have Hurley on this today. And so that's our three guests today. We'll have them here in a moment. But what else is today?
Today is honoring women.
Now, that's exactly what it said, or did it say International Women's Day?
It is International Women's Day, talking about women entrepreneurs.
Okay, and we have one woman on.
One woman.
We should have. Well, we tried to get a couple others, but
right. They were busy. They were working,
James.
Yeah. They were the ones
working. So you're
working.
saying that everyone else we could get wasn't working?
No.
Yeah, okay.
They were able to fit it into their schedule.
Right. But
right.
yeah, we did try that, and there was another day, but. You just told me about something the other day.
Oh, yeah, it's one of those funny holidays.
Yeah, you don't want to talk about it. Yeah, one of those days, the holidays you do not want to talk about.
Right, it's not one we should be celebrating.
And then also there's the Cat in the Hat tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I believe that
honoring Dr. Seuss's birthday here at Cleveland State.
I understand there's going to be a bedtime story that hasn't been written or hasn't been published. I guess
it's one of the only ones.
Right. So they're going to be reading that tomorrow here on the campus. And
I heard that they're going to give a bed away. Somebody had donated a bed.
A bed?
For the event, right.
So
you definitely want to attend.
And everyone's showing up in their pajamas.
Their pajamas.
And we was all backstage earlier, we was talking about pajamas, and people need to make sure that people show up in pajamas, not your pajamas, because sometimes people don't have pajamas. I don't think I own
Some
any.
people wear them out to the shopping centers. I've seen them in them.
That's true.
Well, so where it's okay to wear them.
Yeah, that'd be one okay. Yeah, I guess it'd be 1K. That's hey, you can't get in trouble because you asked for it.
Right.
And I think that's all. I don't think there was any other days. I mean, I looked at the different
calendars.
Events for the calendars.
Yeah,
I think that was
I didn't see anything. I'm sure there's some things out there we're just missing.
We need to get them, people. If you have an event, get them to us. Get them to the station. And we have this show's on 5 days a week, twice a day. 6:30, 7:30. Then again at noon to 1. Have an event. Get a hold of somebody here at Channel 5, and give them a call. Give them a call. Go to the website WTMBTV.net and get there and drop a line to either Kim or Joe, and then ensure that somebody will get your event and talk about it, or even have you as a guest on the show.
Right.
And it's always getting outreach. I mean, I learned so much from listening to the other shows, watching the other guests, and the other host, of how much is happening in Cleveland, how much is going on. There's stuff you cannot find elsewhere. I don't know where to go to find some stuff, and so sometimes you got to tune in here and listen what events are going on each and every day, each and every week, each and every weekend. And there's a lot of great information, not just events, but there's fundraisings. There's different banquets. There's several banquets that have been announced on here, and there's just outreaches, churches, ministries, nonprofits that's on the shows that have so much to help the residents here in Cleveland and Bradley County, and there's a lot here that you don't know about.
Right.
And so we're always trying to find people like that. We're always trying to find that for the show. And so if you want to be on the show, give us a call and get a hold of us. Somebody will host you. Somebody will get you on the show and talk about what you do and what you do for the community or what you have to offer and everything. Let's not waste more time.
There's one more thing. There is another event this weekend. You're forgetting about it already.
I want everybody to show up late to church.
Oh, okay. You're not going to remind them the
time change. Tomorrow night is time change. You must set your clocks forward. And the easiest way we always remember is fall back in the fall and spring forward in the spring.
Right.
So set your clocks backwards. I guess backwards?
No, forward.
Forwards, that's what I meant.
Forward.
But set them forward.
You're going to have
1
everybody
hour.
really messed up.
Don't say everybody be 2 hours late to church. Be saying like, man, I'm early to church. You'll find out you're 2 hours late.
That's right.
But Stacy, you do a good job setting our clocks
I take
forward
care of
and
that
backwards. And then now you just turn your phone off and it automatically updates. Your computers update. So it's just those antique clocks, with the batteries and the winding up and stuff. You got to set forward. So you lose an hour. See, the fall, it's always nice because you gain an hour of sleep.
Right.
You're like, oh, it's 9 o'clock. Like, oh no, it's 8 o'clock again. It's like, oh, it takes some getting used to. I mean, you get some, you feel like you're getting up earlier. You still should be in bed.
Right. It's
You're like,
weird.
I'm tired. I'm wore out. It's 8 o'clock. Going to work. Like, really, it's 7 o'clock. So set your clocks.
Lose that daylight thing for a while. It's been kind of daylight.
Indiana. We're from Indiana, and for a long time, up until just a few years ago, Indiana did not change time.
Right.
Did not change time. I think it was Indiana, Arizona did not change time, and I know that Indiana now changes time. That it took some getting used to.
Right, that was an adjustment for us.
But set your clocks forward so you're not late to church, work, whatever it is you have on Sunday. Lose that 1 hour sleep, and
just take a little nap on Saturday, make up for it.
Or Sunday.
Well, that too.
Yeah, go to bed an hour early. Well, folks, we're going to go ahead and get into our first guest. We'll be back here in just a few moments after this commercial break.
Logan Thompson, attorneys at law, have built a firm offering quality legal services to the people and businesses of Southeast Tennessee. We have achieved expertise in all areas of law in order to represent our clients in a manner they need, deserve, and have come to expect. Logan Thompson, with 9 attorneys and an extensive and competent support staff, is available to provide representation in various legal areas, including family law, Social Security benefits, personal injury, criminal defense, workmen's compensation, as well as business and complex litigation matters. At Logan Thompson, we have been building a tradition of legal services for over 40 years. We have developed the finest legal services and are proficient in providing you with representation you can trust. Give us a call at 423-476-2251 to schedule your free consultation.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time. Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
This segment of Tennessee Valley This Morning is brought to you by Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland and 2120 Chapman Road, Chattanooga. For your next new or previously owned vehicle, make it Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, the better way to buy.
Welcome back, folks. We're here with our first guest today. We've got Corinne Freeman with the BICC Starfish here in Cleveland. Welcome, Corinne.
Thank you. So glad to be here.
And I hear there's an event going on.
Yes, so we're really excited. Starfish will be having the first annual Community Talent Show this coming April, on April the 5th, actually. It's the first event that we've done of this kind, and to our knowledge, the first one in the community. So we're thrilled and very excited to offer this family event to the community and have a good night out. And the tickets are going to be very reasonably priced, so we're wanting to have a good turnout for our performers.
Okay, now how much are the tickets, Corinne?
Well, they're going to be $12 at the door, but $8 in advance.
So you want to get them in advance?
Yes, want to get them in advance, and because our program is all about children, 5 and under are free.
Okay.
So that way you can bring the whole family and try to help save the cost a little bit there. And we've got an exciting lineup that we're going to be showing that evening as well.
Okay, now where is your event located?
It is going to be at the Bradley Central Fine Arts Center. That's at the high school. They've built a wonderful theater facility, and it's very professional and just wonderful things that they can do there. And so we'll be using that facility that evening, and I'm going to open the doors at 6 o'clock, and the show will be from 7 to 9.
Okay. Okay, now do you have your talent already lined up, or is that something we audition for?
Yeah, we do. We had our auditions on the 23rd of February and have selected 12 acts out of all those who auditioned. And we had about 18 audition, and so we have 12 finals that'll be going before the judges, and we have piano players, dancers, vocalists, and a couple group bands. So a lot of musical talent this time around, and just looking forward to seeing them up on stage and going.
Now, do you guys have a Simon judge?
We do. I don't know if any of them are going to be a Simon, but we do have judges. Melissa Woody from the Chamber of Commerce, Connie Gatlin with the Cleveland City Ballet, and Jermaine Profrey, who was American Idol contestant and a former Lee alum. He is, well, I guess he's still a Lee alum, but so he's going to be a judge as well. And then, and we're securing a 4th judge now. We had Connie Scotton, who's a local musician and music teacher here in the community, but 2 of her family members made it through to the final cut, and so she was not involved in that process, but then she graciously excused herself from the final judging because she said she'd have a little bit of a preference on that. So
I'm sure that'd be tough.
Yeah, so but she's still going to be involved with the show in some capacity.
What age range was the are going to be, I guess, the
well, we opened it up to any age range, and so we have the youngest is 8 years old, a vocalist. His name is Corvin, and so he's going to get up and sing a song. And then we kind of have a family grouping, and in that grouping the grandfather is involved in there. So we have a huge range. So from the very young to the grandparents even in there with their family. So.
Neat. Yeah. So it stayed family oriented.
Yes, very much so. So all of the performances are very family friendly. They're different, but they're family friendly. And so we have some young teens who are getting up. This is maybe the first time they've done a venue like this. We have a band from Cleveland High School. They're an alternative garage band and wrote a song specifically for the show and to have it participate in there. So we're just really excited to have them on.
Now, how wide of reach is it? Is it just Cleveland, or do you have some outside?
It is focused on Cleveland and Bradley County. So our organization, the Bradley Initiative for Church and Community, serves here in the local community, and so we really wanted to target in on our local community's strengths and talents, because that's what we try to do as an organization, is build upon the strengths of our community, so that we kept it fairly local. I believe one of our performers does reside in Hamilton County, but attends church here in Cleveland.
Okay.
Yeah.
with staying within the community.
Right.
Yeah, so have the kind of that community focus. So, because you know, as I said, our organization is very much about supporting our local community and helping us to build the ties and support within it.
Okay.
You're saying this is the first one, right?
It is. So as far as I know, this is actually the first community event of its nature, and it's the first one that we have done. So we've made sure to seek some expert advice as we've been planning. So some things that I've been told to make sure we do, and I was thinking, wow, never would have thought of that. So glad that we've got some expert community members and community support helping us to do the planning.
Sure. Yeah. Now, to get this going, was there some startup funding to get the program going?
Well, with Starfish in particular, we've been here for 4 years. We started in 2009, and we received our startup funding from the United Way Bradley Memorial Hospital Endowment. So we received our startup funding from them, and they have continued to support us in these first years. This is our last year that will receive their funding because it does have a cap limit, but we've been very thankful for their support. And for the event, we have had several sponsors come on board. Ralph Buckner with the Ralph Buckner Funeral Homes, and also the Community Foundation that they have has come on as a gold level sponsor for the event. We also have Regions Bank, who has been supportive, and several other sponsors that are helping us get this event going and bring this to the community.
Okay.
Explain some, for the folks watching that may not know what the program consists of. I mean,
Sure.
kind of go through some of the different areas that that, like Starfish being one of them.
Right. This particular event is to a fundraiser for Starfish. Starfish, as I said, has been here since 2009, and we are an in-home parent education program. We actually go in through the homes of families, and we visit with them on a monthly basis, or more often if needed. And we bring them information as far as their child's development. It's very individualized. We want to make sure that they're aware of exactly what their child they can expect and how they can best support that. So we make sure to give them information about that, and also activities that they can do with their children. So for example, if you have a young child around 6 months old and you're interested in knowing about whether they should be crawling it or not, but you don't really know how to help them do that, then we're going to bring you an activity that encourages that aspect of development, but then also talk about the reasons that crawling is important and then why we would want to support that skill. Something that seems very basic, but a lot of times parents don't realize. The reason that we focus in our age range is actually from prenatal until kindergarten entry. And the reason that we focus in on that age range is because the brain growth of a child really occurs during that time frame. By age 3, their brain is 80% of its adult height, while their body is only 50% of the adult height. So the foundation for their future development in their brain architecture is really set within the first 5 years. So we want to make sure that parents have the information they need during that critical time frame, because as any parent knows, by the time they turn 3, you're just now figuring out what you're supposed to be doing. So you're just now figuring out, what works, what doesn't work, and how to handle things as a parent. And then all that crucial learning has taken place. So we want to make sure that parents have the support they need during those critical windows of opportunity if their child is learning.
Right. It is a good program.
Yeah, because we're actually in the program.
Right.
And that's how we met, I guess, everyone. And we like it. We enjoy it because when Jennifer leaves and stuff, she leaves us information saying, this is where you should be, or to watch for stuff, or she asks us things. And so, yeah, it is a very good program.
It is. And we enjoy the family events that you have once a month. Those
we
are
do
fun.
monthly group connections. So our program has 4 components. As you know, we have the monthly home visit and then the monthly group connection. And that's a time where families can come together. And we've done, this month we partnered with the public library for their Dr. Seuss event. And then I've also told our families about the upcoming event here at Cleveland State. Last month we did a Music in the Air, where we made homemade music instruments, and the families came together and played those, and had a ton of fun doing that. And we try to just always have something fun and engaging that's really building child development, but also social connections. So you can, children need that. They need social, emotional support as well, and so do parents. So we want to make sure to provide that too. And also screenings, like you mentioned, if letting them know where your child should be at and what to look for in case something's not progressing as it should, so we can identify that as early as possible.
Sure.
Because we went to the camp out, or
the indoor camp out.
The indoor camp out.
Where do you guys get those books at? The book was like
the
this
big books.
big.
Yes. So we partner. When we first started, we had a partnership with the Cleveland Public Library, and they actually purchased those books. We partner together. They purchase the books, and they're the huge, big reading books. And they keep those for us, so they're available to the library, but then we can also use that at any time that we would like. And so we use those for the group connections to bring and read stories with the families. So, and the kids always love it, because, you have a big 4-foot book. What's not to love about that? So kids actually just get really involved in that.
Especially if it's a book that like David recognized one. I think it was the Elmo one. And he recognized that book.
So get really excited about it. And Jennifer's an excellent storyteller, so that helps too. So she's very. I tell her all the time, I'm like, you need to do the stories. So I'll do an activity, I'll do a craft, but you need to do the stories, because you're much more talented in that area than I am.
Each one works well together, though.
So we, as a staff and as an organization, we really are all about strengths. So we want to build upon family strength and help families. Every family has strength, and every family has things that they're doing really well. And we want to take that and build upon that and support that to make it grow and flourish, so that they can meet the goals that they set for themselves.
Right.
So what's some of the other programs that you do cover?
We actually have 3 primary programs at our organization. We have the Starfish program. We also have ITLT, which is Inspiring Tomorrow's Leaders Today. ITLT is a youth development program for middle and high school youth. They come together twice a month, and they meet to learn about leadership skills to help build and support those skills, so that we really are building the next generation of leaders. Then the other component is service. We want to, we really strongly feel that leaders do that through service to the community. So the youth actually plan, they direct, they orchestrate a service learning project that they do at least once a month, while they're also learning leadership skills within that, to really kind of get a good framework for when they go on and they are an adult, that they can take leadership roles within the community. And our third program is the Transitions program. It's our newest program, and that is a family-centered program where families actually with middle and 10 to 14, which is a little pre-middle school, little after school, but kind of buffering that middle school years, which is a huge transition time. We discovered through research that during that time is the highest frequency of delinquent behaviors in youth. So teenagers have a hard time. Big surprise. We know that. But when we start really looking at the data in our community and the prevalent numbers that the Juvenile Justice Center is seeing and the things that are going on there, we recognize that families needed support in those years as well. So the Transitions program is group-based. Families come together. They start off with a family meal. We give them conversation starters. We help them along of how to get that conversation flowing again. Maybe it was working in those early years, but as the kids get older, you're kind of losing your footing a little bit. So we want to help you get back into that groove of talking around the family dinner table. Then the youth separate, and the families, the adults stay in the one session, the youth go to the second session, but they learn the same skills. So for example, if they're talking about rules and behavior, the parents are going to learn about how to set limits, how to set boundaries, how to come up with consequences, the importance of that, while the youth are going to learn about why we need limits, why we need consequences, what is a natural versus a logical consequence. And then they're going to come back together and practice those skills in that setting. And it's really amazing to see the growth that occurs. Those are 7-week sessions. They meet once a week for 7 weeks. And the families, they come in and they're barely talking to one another. And they're just really, you can tell that they've lost their connection with the youth. And then by the end, they're laughing, they're joking, they're playing around, and there's just that reintegration of the communication and the strength within the family.
Okay.
So,
wow.
So you guys covered just about all ages.
We kind of say from
well,
prenatal to graduation and beyond.
I'll say, because I'm sure that helps the parents in some ways, because parents sometimes lose, they get out of contact with the kids, lose interest in what they're interested in. But I think I talk more to my son on Xbox Live with a headset.
Yes.
Yeah, we're 10 feet away.
Yeah, and you have to do those things as a parent. You have to find what works, and so sometimes if you're having trouble finding what's going to work, then we are there to help support you in that and get you some skills and some resources to do that.
Right.
Wow.
That's a great program.
It is. I didn't
Well,
realize
we're almost out of time. Go ahead and just tell us how someone can get in contact with you.
Sure. We are located at 2810 West Side Drive. That's right over in front of Skyridge West Side. I say that because ticket sales have started, and so if anybody's interested in purchasing an advance ticket for the show, they can come by our office and do that. Those are $8 in advance. They'll be $12 at the door. They can give us a call at 559-1112. And then they also can check out our website, which is bic-inc.org.
Okay, great. And give us the date again of your event.
April the 5th
April
from
5th.
7 to 9.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for being on the show today,
Thank you
Corinne.
for having me.
Appreciate you stopping by.
Appreciate it.
Folks, refill your cup of coffee because we're going to move on to our next guest just shortly, and you're not going to want to miss. We've had a great show so far, and there's more to come.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
Logan Thompson, attorneys at law, have built a firm offering quality legal services to the people and businesses of Southeast Tennessee. We have achieved expertise in all areas of law in order to represent our clients in a manner they need, deserve, and have come to expect. Logan Thompson, with 9 attorneys and an extensive and competent support staff, is available to provide representation in various legal areas, including family law, Social Security benefits, personal injury, criminal defense, workmen's compensation, as well as business and complex litigation matters. At Logan Thompson, we have been building a tradition of legal services for over 40 years. We have developed the finest legal services and are proficient in providing you with representation you can trust. Give us a call at 423-476-2251 to schedule your free consultation.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
This segment of Tennessee Valley This Morning is brought to you by Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland and 2120 Chapman Road, Chattanooga. For your next new or previously owned vehicle, make it Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, the better way to buy.
Welcome back, folks. Glad you got your coffee, got back here, and got sat down and to watch us. We have two guests with us today. We've told you before. If you show up in the studio, you're going to end up on TV, and we've done that to several people. You know, they're here to support the guest and end up being on the show. So today we have Hollis McGeese and Keith Shelton with Platinum Recruiting, and Hollis, glad to have you. Keith, glad to have you here today. We really appreciate you being on today.
Good to be here.
Kind of explain to us, Hollis, I guess, Platinum Recruiting, what's about? What is it about?
Sure. Platinum Recruiting is a local recruiting company, and basically we specialize in recruiting for drivers as well as clerical positions, IT positions. We're not a staffing company in that we charge a small fee for the particular worker that the company wants. We try to work with the company's budget. Whatever their payroll budget that they need, we'll try to accommodate them the best way we can. And we're growing. We're expecting good things.
That's good, because we've been up there by your office. I've been there a couple times, I guess, already.
Yeah.
And as we explained earlier before you got here, was you're in the Cleveland Bradley Business Incubator here on the campus at the college.
That's right.
And you're upstairs. Go ahead and give us your information on where you're at located before we forget that.
Yeah. We're located at 3505 Atkinson Drive in Suite 205. And again, we've been in business for probably about 6 months now. And we're expecting good things.
A phone number there.
Sure, it's 423-478-6483.
Okay, so you're saying that you're not really you're. I guess it would be a job placement of some sorts.
Right.
Who would you actually look for to call? Somebody looking for a job, or somebody wanting to get?
Preferably, what we do is we don't necessarily find people jobs. We find employers the right people. So it's a little bit of a different approach. We don't have an available list line and things like that. But if companies want to call us and they tell us what they're looking for, then it's our job to go out there and find them exactly, the people that they need.
Right. Okay, that's why I guess for my sake too, and for someone watching, I was wanting to make sure
we understood that. And we try to the reason why we look at it from the angle of finding the employers who they need is so that we don't get into the business of just trying to put warm bodies in placements. But if a company says, hey, we need a IT developer or a web developer or so on, then it's our job to go out and find that particular person, the best qualified person, not someone just because they're looking for work, although at the same time, we do want to help the community. So the first place we pull from are people who are actually in the Cleveland, Bradley area.
Okay. So what's a process would take? I mean, just say someone would call you up, and what's a normal process? And I know it's going to be different for what type of positions they're trying to fill, but I mean, can you fill 1 to 100?
Yeah, definitely. We can fill 1 to 1,000.
Okay, 1,000. So we go higher.
Yeah, we'll go a little bit higher. But basically, a company will call us and they'll tell us exactly what they're looking for, and we'll put together a profile of questions that we ask various applicants. And so if they said they needed a truck driver, we would find out if the truck driver needed to have a CDL, a clean motor vehicle report, and references and so on. And then after we found that particular person, we would create a profile and put all of the detailed information on that profile and submit it to the client.
Okay. Now, Keith, you work there also.
Yes, sir.
What's your role there?
I am the business development manager. Basically, I'm the one that communicates directly with the businesses.
Okay.
The businesses either call me or I call the businesses to place that particular order. I just enjoy working with the businesses and the HR reps. It's very important for us to have good communication and be able to be on top of everything for them. We're providing the great employees that they're looking for, and they're very excited for us to be in the area.
That's good. Now, on the process, when an employee calls up and says, okay, we need this person or that person, now is there a process other than what you get from them for you to find somebody? I mean, you go through you just don't go out and say, okay, hey, you want to work, you say about the warm body.
Yeah.
But, there's a whole process, I'm sure, that you go through to say, this is the best person for that job.
Yeah, definitely. We do background checks. We do motor vehicle reports. We also have various job boards that we post different things to, saying that we are looking for various positions. We also advertise in the local paper. We advertise with, we have several recruiters that work in North Carolina and Ohio, quite a few all over that help network with us, so that if we have, if it's a company from another state and they're looking for someone, we have recruiters all over that will post various jobs to various job boards. So, part of the process is we'll advertise for a particular position, and then those applicants will call us. We'll screen them. We'll check their references and make sure they are who they say they are.
That's a big plus right there.
Definitely. And then at the same time, we'll also pull their background check after they've been interviewed by the client, and the client decides that they want that particular person. We'll pull their background check as well.
That's good, because I figured that it had to be something more than just, like you said, a warm body in place. Because you'd be surprised at how many employers, when they get an application, they look a little bit at the information, say, oh, that's great, and then never check on somebody. Never really pick up the phone and say, you know what, is this person what he says he is? Did he get, and you'll find out later on down the road that, oh yeah, he got fired from the same job, for stealing or doing something. But when you actually pick up the phone and check on it, I mean, that's a plus for any employer.
Yeah, definitely. We actually had a applicant apply recently, and he stated that he had been with the company for about 4 or 5 years. And so we just picked up the phone, and some agencies do not do reference checks, but they're so vital because we picked up the phone and got the information on him, and he had actually only been there for about 4 months. So he told us 4 or 5 years, but really he was only there 4 months. He said he was laid off, but he was actually terminated. And so there were so many things that he said that were incorrect. And so that's why it's so important for us to check references and make sure those people are who they say they are.
Yeah, because that's going back on. That's coming back to you if anything happens like that. Because when you say, you know what, we do platinum recruiting, this is it. This is our. You're putting your name on it. You're putting your stamp saying this employee checks out.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's a big plus. Excuse me.
And James, I want to say this too, that one of the differences between us and a traditional staffing agency is the fact that we charge a one-time fee. And typically, whenever you go through a staffing agency, you have to have that person hired on with the agency for about 3 months, roughly. And so you're being charged a hourly rate, and out of that hourly rate, part of that goes to the employee, and then part of that is profit for the staffing company. Well, we feel like the difference or the advantage in going to us is that it cuts out the commitment of having to work with the staffing company for 90 days. Instead, just pay a one-time fee. It's a much lower fee, and so it saves a lot of companies money to go that route.
And then part of that, of I guess doing the process, can you do like the testing?
Definitely.
You guys can do the testing. I know, I think Whirlpool had some testing here on campus a while back.
Yeah, we can do dexterity tests, which determines how quick a person is with their hands. Or we can also do typing tests and clerical types of tests. There's all sorts of tests that we are able to provide, depending on what the client wants.
Okay. Now, if someone, and now if it's not an employer, I know you're saying that you're mainly looking for employers. Now, if someone contacts you, can they contact you with your postings and stuff and say, hey, you know what, do you have this type of job, say an IT job, and maybe you don't have at the time, do you build a database?
Definitely. We will definitely take the resumes or their information and we'll put it in our database. And so if that position does open up, we are able to pull from our database and get them submitted, if that particular position does open up that they're qualified for.
Okay. Now, can I ask you, and you may not want to answer it, what's your success rate? 100%?
I would probably say about 150%, something like that. No, we have a pretty good track record of providing people what they need. We pride ourselves in that. And one of the things about us is that we're really fast. Sometimes certain agencies, they're not equipped to take a lot of orders at once. But we will work around the clock to make sure that, if a client places an order, we try to get it to them the same day, if not within a few hours of them placing it.
Okay. And what's your reach right now? I mean, anywhere?
Yeah, pretty much anywhere. We're actually spreading out to the North Carolina area quite a bit. Keith was telling me a little bit about someone we recently placed out there, one of our recruiters who works with Platinum Recruiting. And could you tell me the area again?
Yeah, it's basically the Winston-Salem, Greensboro area. We've brought them in now, so we've got a recruiter placed in that area. So, and then of course we have some recruiter in the Raleigh area, and then the Ohio that he had mentioned. So we're really starting to branch out as quick as possible because there's money to be made in all those markets, and at the same time we want to make sure that we provide every company that we can with the quality employee, with the best employee.
And see what surprised me about that, I guess not really doesn't surprise me, but you're saying that you're branching out and growing like that, but yet you hear the unemployment rate is going up. You hear people saying, I can't find a job. Yet you run into people that are finding jobs, have 2 and 3 jobs. I mean, it's amazing when you say that. And
well, it's about finding the right candidate for the right position is the main thing. We're looking for that 100% success rate. We don't really want to place somebody that's going to have a turnover because they're not satisfied with the job. So we don't try to necessarily sell the job to the employee. it has to be something they're really interested in doing, because we want that final placement so that our customers are happy with us.
Yeah, and one of the things about recruiting is that good people typically have jobs. Yeah. Even in today's market. Now, if a person's at an entry-level position, obviously, they could still be a really good worker, but just haven't found their niche yet. Yeah. But after a person has a few years of experience, better people always have jobs. And so with our clients, we typically only try to send people who are gainfully employed or have had a proven track record of consistently being employed, not where they're at this place for 3 months and then they're at the next place for 2 months. Those aren't really the type of people we're necessarily looking to work with. We try to find people that are gainfully employed and but looking for possible advancement. Right. And growth.
I would think even too the ones you talk about that been in jobs that's been let go, as far as like downsizing and closings and things. I mean, there's a lot of people like that's been at jobs 10, 15, 20 years.
Exactly.
And I'm sure people, Platinum Recruiting would be a godsend to them in the sense saying, I can't get back out because I don't even know what to do, where to start looking.
Right,
and then you come along and say, I've got a job that fits you. You're interested. I mean, those would be people I would say would be a boon to what you do.
Yeah, we actually had someone that we talked to today who he had been at his employer for about 5 or 6 years, and he was laid off because the company downsized. Now that's a type of person that we love working with, because they've had proven work history of success, very successful, great references, and most employers are looking for those type of people. They want consistency. They want to see a positive track record.
Right. Okay. Well, we're about out of time, Hollis and Keith. I do appreciate you guys being here today. We're always looking for someone new to be on here, and when I talked to you when we first met, and started finding out what you did, I was like, oh, this is really cool. I mean, especially in this area here, where I think we're listed number 5. I think we're 5th in the state as far as jobs. Mm-hmm. I think the Mayor Tom Rowland, when he did the State of the City address, he had mentioned that Cleveland area was ranked number 5 in the state as far as job placements and stuff. So that's you're in the right area.
That's great.
You're in the right area. Good news. As far as growing and everything in the industry we have here. Well, Hollis, thank you very much. Keith, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Folks, we're going to go to a commercial break and come back here with our last guest with a surprise question.
Logan Thompson, attorneys at law, have built a firm offering quality legal services to the people and businesses of Southeast Tennessee. We have achieved expertise in all areas of law in order to represent our clients in a manner they need, deserve, and have come to expect. Logan Thompson, with 9 attorneys and an extensive and competent support staff, is available to provide representation in various legal areas, including family law, Social Security benefits, personal injury, criminal defense, workmen's compensation, as well as business and complex litigation matters. At Logan Thompson, we have been building a tradition of legal services for over 40 years. We have developed the finest legal services and are proficient in providing you with representation you can trust. Give us a call at 423-476-2251 to schedule your free consultation.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here. Doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
This segment of Tennessee Valley This Morning is brought to you by Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland and 2120 Chapman Road, Chattanooga. For your next new or previously owned vehicle, make it Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, the better way to buy.
Welcome back, folks. We're back here again for the last segment, last guest, and this is Hurley Buff, Executive Director of the Cleveland Bradley Business Incubator. I guess it'd be our landlord.
Yeah, and all your guests or your audience is now saying, "Oh Lord, they've got that incubator director on again."
Now, the question I wanted to ask you, Hurley, and this is Stacy was going through Facebook, through the CBBI Facebook page, going through some old pictures and everything, and she said, "Look at this right here." And there's a picture of you. It's back when I think your title was facility director.
Facility manager.
Facility manager. So
he was holding a hoe in his hand.
Yeah.
Oh,
but the thing we wanted to ask you is, what happened to the Hurley belt buckle? You had the Hurley belt.
Uh-huh.
You had a big old belt buckle that said Hurley on it.
Yes, it did.
So
it was the Hurley brand.
Is that what it is, the brand?
Made or anything. But yeah, it's about that big around, and as you can tell, I'm not anymore. Yeah, I suppose you're going to flash the picture, right?
No, I did not. Go to the Facebook, like the page, go down there. I think it was...
It's about 2010.
2010?
Yeah, it
2009.
was.
2009.
I'll tell you when that picture was taken. The incubator tenants all got together and decided that they were tired of the plain grass and everything around the building. Mm-hmm. So the incubator bought the shrubs and the plants, and all the tenants got together on a weekend. It was on a Saturday morning, and we had a construction company in the building at the time, and that they offered 2 pieces of equipment and 2 men to help us out. So they scraped all the grass away. And the incubator tenants spread topsoil all over the entire area around the incubator. You know, this is on Cleveland State's campus. And we had an auger that drilled the holes for the shrubs. So all the tenants planted all the shrubs, all the flowers, went back and mulched around it. I mean, it was really beautiful when it was done. But that's where those pictures came from. And as a matter of fact, I think a little later on you couldn't have seen the belt buckle because my shirt was draped down to my knees. It was wet with sweat and dirt and everything. But
so it must be a tradition in the incubator to do yard maintenance when it's 100 degrees.
It always is, of course.
Last year.
But you know, I mean, who would have thought that this year when we did that, when we did the new gravel and mulch, that it would have been that hot that day?
It was the hottest day.
I mean, and think about how late in the fall that was.
Yeah.
And I kept looking out at you guys, seeing if you guys were okay.
Yeah,
and kept peeking out the door.
And I very easily could have been laid out somewhere.
I sent 2 people in my place. I knew that me being gone, I would have to send 2 workers, and I sent the hardest working one, and then the one that looked good, you know.
Oh, I see. Is that how it goes?
I said Simon and Stacy.
Well, and of course he sat back and directed, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
I just peeked out, and you guys kept getting caught peeking out because everybody was at the break table.
See, I knew every shovel of gravel that I moved. I knew this was James's pile. Yeah. So.
But I had to work that day.
You had to work that day.
Typically, that does have to happen from time to time.
I called in sick. Hey, boss man, I won't be here today. So tell us, incubator-wise, news about the incubator. What's going on?
Well, we're still trucking right along. One thing that I did want to mention to you, the college is having their Green Day on April the 13th this year. That's going to be on a Saturday, and of course it's one of the events that I support, or the incubator supports, because of our new building on the other side of the campus called the Cleveland Bradley Innovation Center.
Right.
Now all the businesses down at the Innovation Center all have a green component. They've taken an old idea and given it a new twist to make it green, or it's brand new ideas. That's hence the name, Innovation Center. But this is to showcase those tenants specifically. And the event that Cleveland State has, it's sort of an annual tradition with Cleveland State. Cleveland State's ideas and programs in the field of green technologies and whatnot goes back a long way. So this is just fitting right in with what Cleveland State was already doing. So we'll be out that Saturday. A lot of the businesses from the Innovation Center are going to have booths and tables at the event, and you'll be able to come in and look at some of the really, I can't even say the ideas that are being generated at the Innovation Center. It just blow your mind. We've got a lady down there right now by the name of Kim Curran. She has a business called Kim Curran Creations. And she's doing us all a favor by keeping a lot of glass out of the landfill. She takes things like old bottles, whether it's Coke bottles, wine bottles, what have you, and turns them into just beautiful works of art. She can make them useful objects like cheese trivets and bread platters and things like that. But then she also just makes some jewelry and things to hang on the wall to decorate with and stuff like that. Just beautiful works. And of course, all that is repurposing, the glass that otherwise would have wound up right in the landfill.
Well, we had bought an item for Christmas, wasn't it? As a Christmas
I
gift,
bought
it
a
was a
nightlight. Really
well,
pretty.
she actually, speaking of Christmas, she makes some Christmas ornaments out of this glass too that are absolutely gorgeous. And there just doesn't seem to be any limit to her imagination as to what she does with this. She tells me it's a learning process as she goes, because she's making a lot of this up as she goes. When she can find a mold or find a customer with a specific need, then she goes for it. She finds a way to make it happen for them. And some of the works, just when they come out, how that some bottles especially are painted on both sides, but it may be on clear glass. So when those collapse, the pictures wind up on top of each other, and it almost gives it a 3D effect. Really interesting stuff to have around a coffee table or something, because it's always going to generate conversation. But then we've got another lady down there that she runs a business called Serendipity CB. Her name's Cheryl Barker. She's a licensed massage therapist, and this is where she sort of learned how to make her line of beauty products. She makes things like skin lotions and chapsticks, massage oils, room deodorizer and whatnot. All this she learned from being a massage therapist. And so she also demonstrates all of her products down there too, because she still does that. But everything that she puts in her product is all 100% natural, and nothing that would ever cause you any kind of health problem or be any kind of health risk. And then the packaging she puts it in is always recycled packaging. So she's green from start to finish, the way she makes the product, what goes in the product, and then ultimately how the product's packaged, all 100% green. So it's helping out the community.
Great. And Green Day too. I think last year we went to Green Day. Was that the first one?
I remember seeing you at Green Day.
Was that the first one?
It was the first one that we participated in, because that was the first year the Innovation Center had been open. But this has actually been an annual thing with Cleveland State.
And I think something that everyone needs to know is it's not just for adults.
Oh, no.
I think that's where we walked up thinking it was for adults only. There's just going to be vendor tables, but there was a lot of stuff for kids. There's a lot of information for kids and stuff, and we didn't bring our son that day.
There is.
And so
they have activities and learning opportunities, all specifically geared for children of different age levels. So by all means, it's a family event. Anybody that would want to come, I'd strongly encourage them to bring their kids with.
I think they gave out trees. I believe they gave out some trees.
Sure
there's different stuff. There's a lot of education.
The rain barrel class is one thing that's always a big draw. They provide the materials and whatnot, if I'm not mistaken, to make the rain barrels with, and of course that's always a big draw. Anybody that wanted to find out more information about what's going to be going on, the planning stages of the event are pretty well taken care of. So anybody that wanted more information could call Cleveland State at 472-7141, and they can get more information on the event.
Okay. And what else news-wise is going on? I mean, we're getting new tenants in the incubator, I believe.
Oh, we do have some new tenants. You just interviewed one of my new tenants, Hollis Pegues with Platinum Recruiting. They're on the second floor of the old building of the incubator, where we have several new businesses in there. I wish we had time in this venue to sit and talk about all of them, but we've got some interesting people in the incubator right now. We've got a really good group.
I see them every day, most of them anyway, every day.
Well, that's the thing about the incubator. I mean, these small business people are all in the same boat. So when they visit with each other out in the hall, it saves them having to spend money on a psychologist or a psychiatrist, because we all look after each other and have each other's back in the incubator. And what some of the folks that have been there for a while have already been through and have learned, and they know these lessons, they can pass those along to the guys like Hollis who are just getting started. And I wish when I went into business that there had been something like this, some kind of program that could have pointed out the pitfalls in a way that I could have understood at the time.
Right.
You know, because we cater to every age of entrepreneur. We've got some kids over there that are straight out of college that have great ideas and are really going for it, as well as people that are starting a second career after retiring from something else. Mm-hmm. You know, we have a lady over there by the name of Janice Cruden. She's been on your program before. You know, this the business that she has at the incubator is a second career for her. She retired before that she started this business, and she's still over there going strong. She just celebrated a birthday and turned 70, and you would never know it to look at that woman.
I'm shocked.
She is a dynamo. She keeps going, and I'm sure she will for quite some time to come.
Right. And then you see, not only that, you see graduates from there all over billboards and things all over town. I've seen 2 or 3 graduates that I know of on billboards and different stuff around town. You see their business. So, you know, once you graduate, I mean, once you're in the incubator for only about 4 years, but you know, once you move out there, there's still that networking.
Oh, well, like I've told you before, the incubator is kind of like the Hotel California. You can check in, but you can't check out.
Yeah.
You know, I keep up with all the graduates. I have an ongoing relationship with them, and even after our company's graduated, if there were a need for them to have a conference room or to use some of our facilities, they're always welcome to come back and do that. We don't stop caring about you the minute that you graduate. You know, we stay up with you and keep up with what's going on with you. And we do have a lot of successful graduates that have stayed right here in the community. You know, and I visited another incubator in another state. I won't mention the name or anything. Not too long ago, their graduates basically were graduating out so they could leave the area. That was their whole point and purpose, and going through the incubation program. I'm like, ooh, you know, that gave me shivers, because I dread to think of going to all the trouble, and I get personally involved in my businesses. You know, I'm there for every success, for every failure. I'm right along for the ride with them. So, you know, it would hurt me to think that they were leaving our community. So thankfully, I think the figure when we last looked at it was like 97% of all the businesses that we've graduated are still here in this area. Most of them right in Cleveland, but certainly in the Cleveland-Bradley area.
Well, Hurley, we're down to just about a minute left.
Is that all I got left?
I'll say you've only been talking for a couple minutes.
I know.
But
It feels that way.
we always appreciate you coming on here early. You always are
always
kind of our
appreciate being here.
good information, but also our backup. We can call Hurley and say, Hurley, we need a guest, and Hurley's like, I'm here.
Yep, I'm here anytime. Turn the camera on. I'm in front of me.
Well, we got any openings at the incubators? Any open spots right now?
Actually, we don't have any openings right this moment at the incubator.
Okay.
But now we do have some openings at the Innovation Center.
Okay.
So if anybody out there has an idea that they think might fit into, that we could shoehorn into a green incubator, then by all means, come and let me hear your idea. And even if your original idea, you have an idea?
Everybody that has any money they want to get rid of, want to recycle any money, bring it down to me. Is that green enough?
That is green and plenty. Yeah,
all
that's
right.
green in a couple different ways.
Well, folks, we're out of time. We do appreciate all our guests today for being on the show, and we'll see you again. And don't forget, set your clocks forward tomorrow night. Time changes, so don't be late for Sunday or Monday, you know. And so, but we're out of here. We're out of time. We'll see you again next Friday.